Hello everyone and welcome back to Crayon Code. Today let's get creative by building a loading animation with morphing icons having only 8 points and a few lines of CSS. So by the end of this episode you know how to customize and use it for your own projects. Just make sure to like and subscribe to my channel to never miss an update. So let's get going. The markup for this one is really simple, as we just need a div and we will give it the class morph loader, which will be now styling, and the CSS is a little bit more work than markup naturally. So for the initial setup, we will need our div, which is going to be morphed. We will need it to be a display type of inline block, because I want to be able to set width and height arbitrarily. So I'm just going to set it for 12 frames such that it's well visible. And let's actually make it visible with a background color of white. Perfect. So and now let's actually put an animation on it, which will take 4 seconds in each period. Let's call it morph. We will be generating this one done dynamically with CSS, and I'll apply a custom cubic Bezier easing function, as I want the transitions to be quick and the shape remain for a few moments. So that's why I actually have one which is quite steep in the beginning and flattens out in the end. So that's actually it. So this is the animation itself. And now the real challenge here is to actually get those icons. I have prepared a few, and most importantly, they all must have the same amount of points. Because only if they have the same amount of points, the browser is actually able to morph from one shape to another. If the number of points differs from one shape to another, the shape actually just jumps. So that's not what we want here. And then I created a list of shapes which allows us to have these transitions. Here you can see it's always 8 points. Here we have an octagon, a star, a slightly shifted star, a thunderbolt, and a one with 1 and 2 triangles. Those one will transition nicely from one to each other. And when you actually create those shapes, also make sure which points moves where, because it sometimes looks messy if the points cross over. And actually now this is something where I have to experiment a lot, because you have to really map that the first point of one shape always transitions to the first point of the next shape. So that's how you really have to take the order of the points into account. And to actually make this a keyframed animation, we are going to use an SCSS list, where we put the variables of our clip paths into a list. And from there on, we're actually just going to generate a keyframes rule. We already call it morph. And here we're going to use the each loop of SCSS, where we loop over all the clip paths we actually have in our list. And now we need the percentage, and this is what we actually need to generate dynamically, because if the list changes, we also want to change the percentages of the keyframes. So we have a step size, which is 100% divided by the length of our clip paths list, -1. That -1 is most important. And of course we start at 0%. So, and each time we have a new path, we interpolate the current percentage into the keyframes rule, and all actually we need to change is the clip path with what we have in our variable. And now of course we need to advance current from current onwards plus step size. And that already should yield a result. Yeah, nice. So it's already working. And I think I messed something up. Yeah, of course, I forgot something, because it's supposed to run infinitely often, which I forgot here. Yeah, now we should actually see that it's morphing, and from the last shape, it's going to shape more back. Yeah, perfect. So that already works. And since everything's greater with color, let's actually put some color into each animation step, which means that we are going to generate a colors array, which has as many colors as we have clip paths. I prepared an array from my usual colors. And the thing is now that we need a counter variable, which starts at 1 and which we're going to also advance by 1, and we're simply going to put the background color here, where we get the nth element from the colors array at position I. And this should already give us, yeah, a nice color effect. So you can see that it nicely shapes and also changes color from each step. Yeah, and that's already it. The greatest challenge here is really to create these icons, but software like Inkscape really helps here, because you can create a 100 times 100 pixel canvas, and from there on you already get the percentages, and you can really just go on and shape it how you want it there and experiment with an arbitrary number of points. 8 seemed quite okay here, because it's actually quite amazing what you can do with 8 points. And yeah, give it a try. Use this as a basis for your own projects. Let me know how it would work. And I hope you had as much fun as I did creating this morphing icons loading animation. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.